Yo, what's up guys, Teacher Paul over here, and today the video is quite, I don't know, is this true? The BBC says that the Dutch does not say sorry. We're gonna react to this video, but is that true? I don't think so. I don't think so. Let's see. Before I say anything, let's just check the video out and I'll comment.
The Netherlands may be a small country, but the Dutch are known for many things. Cycling, cheese, coffee shops, windmills, and being the tallest people in the world.
Dutch
but there's one thing they rarely do. Dutch
Gouda. Oh, yeah.
people don't say sorry.
Nee. Nou, dat kan ik me niet herinneren hoor.
Dat is een hele tijd geleden.
If they say sorry, they don't really mean it.
Experts like Saskia Maarse say that there's a cultural reason for this.
The Dutch are known as being direct, which means that the messages are quite precise and clear. Whereas in most other countries, the communication style is indirect, meaning that, well, to understand that you have to look to the underlying values. And in the British communication style, there's much more politeness, diplomacy and tact. Whereas in the Netherlands communication style, if you look at the underlying values, it's about transparency and openness and honesty.
Okay, I understand that part so far. I understand the directness, so you don't need to apologize for if the person didn't understand you. But what if you do something wrong against the person or by mistake? Let's say you're late for an appointment. You say sorry, right? You apologize. Let's keep watching the video. I need to understand this a little bit better.
I asked people from other countries how they see this curious habit.
I was born in Indonesia.
I come from Maastricht. I was born in Chicago, Illinois.
I come out from Syria.
I grew up mixed culture. There are two different sides because Indonesians are not direct at all, and we tend to talk around things, whereas the Dutch is really like, if you want to say something, say it to my face and be direct about it. Like, just get to the point. What do you want?
Are we a little bit rude, maybe?
Kind of. But I think it's a culture.
The younger are very good on their bikes, always saying sorry, and then some people, the older generation of Dutch, aren't. They don't. No.
En als iemand iets vervelends zegt, hè, of in een gezelschap of wat dan ook, dan ga ik wel dat achterhalen. En dan weet ik ook de reden. Het kan een goede reden zijn, het kan ook niet zo goed zijn en dan zeg ik dat. Dus ja, ik ben wat dat betreft wel beleefd in die dingen, ja. Kan ik wel zeggen van mezelf.
This is actually a thing that we've been talking on the way here. How Dutch I can be with my directness, because sometimes under pressure I do tend to be very short.
No. You don't use words.
Yeah, it's I'm sorry. Hey, there it is.
Of course, as with any trend, there are exceptions.
I have been dealing with Dutch 3 years.
Okay, so you do say sorry. Okay.
I think she's more the one who says it. Yeah, she says it and she mean it.
Generally, they will say sorry, but only if they mean it. In the British communication style, sorry is a good word to use in order to be more diplomatic or polite. While we should say, well, you only say sorry if you're really sorry.
Als ik weet dat ik fout ben, zeg ik sorry. Ja. Ik ken heel slecht tegen onrecht, maar als ik zeker weet dat ik zelf fout ben, zeg ik echt, ja, dan zeg ik sorry.
This culture trend has a curious history.
Ik niet verstaan Nederlands. I don't know what he's saying.
Historical and practical origin.
The direct communication style is part of the consensus culture. If you look at the history, we have this one common enemy, which is the water. So centuries ago, the people were forced to work together to find solutions for the battle against the water. What they did is sitting around tables and having long discussions and long deliberations, and it was needed to be honest about your ideas and your thoughts and your opinions, so they could find out a common solution. The other thing is, in order to take all the opinions, ideas seriously, people had to see each other as equal, and that still is. It is deep-rooted, and it's still a part of the communication style.
Well, you came up to me once and you said that when you go to a place, a terrace or something, that no one is coming to you.
Yeah.
Right? And you won't step.
I will wait until somebody shows up or I give up and leave.
Yeah, and I will confront them until they come.
Yeah, but that's Dutch.
This Dutch directness can cause translation issues, especially when talking with Brits, who don't always say what they think.
If you have a business proposal and the Englishman or woman says, well, that's very interesting, I will have a look at it, we really translate that, oh, that's interesting, so they are interested. Well, it could also mean, well, I'm not interested and it's a bad idea. And then the challenge for Dutch people is to find out what the real meaning of the words is.
Come on, BBC, you're repeating footage.
English, but it doesn't mean that we get the real message. And also, of course, for the people in the UK, it's challenging to not be that shocked because of the directness, because it's meant to be honest and clear, but it's often perceived as being rude and even arrogant.
Do we think that Dutch people need to say sorry more?
Nou, ik zeg meestal, nou dat heb ik niet bedoeld of het spijt me.
Yeah, het spijt me is more serious than sorry. Het spijt me, yeah, it really
Het spijt me. How do you say that? Het...
Of het spijt me.
Yeah, het spijt me is...
Het spijt me. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
It's more serious than sorry. Het spijt me, yeah, it really comes from your heart.
Het spijt me. It involves more. It involves a story, a situation.
Sorry is sorry, but het spijt me, really, really sorry. Only say sorry if you really want to say sorry. Don't say it if you don't mean it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Perhaps then we can all learn a little more from my culture and use the word sorry more carefully.
Sorry.
Bro, this is one of the reasons I love the Dutch. Especially because I don't like beating around the bush. I like being very direct. And I think that's the way we should communicate, you know. We should be very open and honest and talk about things directly, you know, the way it is. But nowadays, it's so hard for you to say what you think because, you know, most of the people, especially online, they will kind of crucify you for maybe not understanding what you mean even. So you kind of have to try to make it softer, you know, like throw a softball rather than be straight to it. It's the whole thing of, you know, political correctness and choosing your words carefully or else you will be cancelled. It's the whole cancel culture. And that's why I like the Dutch, because you are like very direct, right? It's not, and I don't think you guys get offended easily, right? And that's the type of person I am as well. I'm misunderstood because I normally say a few things that people might not understand or think it's arrogant. Sometimes I explain situations that I don't need to explain, but I see that people sometimes don't understand the full picture. So I have to go and explain it. And, you know, I spend more time saying that, look, I'm not angry at you. I'm not upset. I just want to solve the issue. I spend more time trying to explain that I want to solve the problem than actually solving the problem. And that's what happens most of the time. And most of the problems come from emotion. Like in a workplace, whenever you see somebody arguing, it's emotion. It's not like, okay, this is how we fix the problem. Because when I went to school, I learned a little bit about business, business 101. And the first thing you need to do is identify the problem and then seek the solution, right? Because if you don't identify the problem, then you cannot find a solution. So if you go straight to the point, what is the problem? Okay, let's fix it. Rather than being emotional about it. Oh, but you did this. Oh, but the thing you said. And Americans normally have this phrase, what did you say to me? You know, that type of phrase. And I think that is very hurtful for Americans to hear something that is so direct. Especially when people are not used to being talked to in a very direct manner. Like some people have never heard the truth in their face. You know, sometimes you go over to a person and say, hey, this is how it is. And they're shocked and their whole world falls and they're like devastated because somebody went there and said the truth to them. I've seen this happen many times. And guys, I did not grow up in Brazil. So when I did eventually go back to Brazil, like I was born in Brazil, but then I left at the age of 3, I think, around 3 years old. And then when I went back, I was already like 19. So I didn't have a lot of Brazilian culture, and everything I said was misconstrued, you know, because I was very rude or arrogant or very direct. And that was never my intention. So it's funny, man. I feel a little bit Dutch just by thinking that you guys are direct, I'm direct, and the whole world kind of misunderstands when we're trying to be helpful. Man. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And I don't think being direct is the opposite of being kind. I think people can be kind and direct at the same time, right? But sometimes it's hard to interpret. So it happens, especially by text. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Now you can get full access to exclusive content, special reactions to shows, series, anime, full movies, and even request a video of your choice. Just become a YouTube member or join Buy Me a Coffee today. Find out more. The link is in the description.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right.